Did you grow up in the Philippines during the 90s? Then you know the chilling warning whispered among friends. Stay away from Robinsons Galleria. As the urban legend went, the mall wasn't just a place to shop. It was a hunting ground for a legendary snake creature, waiting to claim its next victim. Hello everyone, I'm Repolio, your self-proclaimed internet paranormal investigator VTuber. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most infamous urban legends in the Philippines history, the Robinsons Galleria snake. And before you ask, yes, I'm old enough to remember those days. I'm part of the generation that grew up challenging others to high-stakes Beyblade matches and blowing our entire allowance on prepaid cards, just to grind in Ragnarok Online at the local internet cafe. Shout out to all my fellow 90s babies out there, currently dealing with midday backaches from bad postures. Yes, I'm talking to you. Now that we've established our nostalgia, let's go to the good stuff. Are you ready to dive into the legend? According to my parents and a mountain of internet deep dives, the Robinsons Galleria legend wasn't just a random ghost story. It was a targeted hit job. Back in the 90s, when the mall was just a new kid on the block, a certain unnamed rival company allegedly cooked up a nasty rumor to scare off the customers. Their weapon of choice? A horrifying tale about a giant snake man lurking in the dressing rooms, obsessed with snatching up young women. Pervert. Honestly though, if Tinder existed back then, I bet that snake wouldn't have to resort to kidnapping. He just needs some solid AI filters, a few gym selfies, and a swipe right personality. Although, let's be real, dating a snake hybrid? Probably not on anyone's list. Then again, I've seen the internet. Monster girls are a huge thing now. Maybe our guy was just born in the wrong timeline. Anyway, back to the legend. The story goes that this snake man is actually the secret twin brother of Rabina Gakungwei, daughter of the late tycoon John Gakungwei. It's become such a massive part of Philippine pop culture that even Rubina herself has even openly joked about her twin or on social media during the Year of the Snake. Is she just laughing off an old smear campaign, or is she dropping hints? Who actually knows? But the legend persists. A half-man, half-snake creature living in a secret dungeon beneath the mall, guarding his collection. Whether it was brilliant business sabotage or something more sinister, it's one hell of a story. Now that we covered the origins, let's talk about the logistics. How exactly did the snake man pull off a kidnapping in a busy shopping mall? According to the legends, there were two danger zones, the dressing rooms and the restrooms. First, the dressing rooms, the urban legend claims that the mirrors were actually two-way glass. The snake man would be watching from the other side, waiting for a victim. If he saw someone he liked, the mirror would slide open like a trap door, and he'd snatch them right into the darkness. Then you have the restroom traps. This one is an even more chaotic. If you're unlucky enough to be spotted, the floor beneath the toilet would literally activate, turning your bathroom break into a one-way ticket to a dungeon. Honestly, thinking about this, it sounds exactly like those unhinged Japanese prank shows, where they set up elaborate trapdoors just to watch their staff take an involuntary, terrifying water slide ride. Except instead of a pool at the end, you're ending up in a secret lair with a giant snake. Not exactly a fun time. Now then, you know what time it is? It's story time with Repolio. I've got two legendary tales to share. These are the ones that actually stuck with me. And honestly, they're very iconic to me, at least. First up, let's talk about the 90s icon herself, Alice Dixson. If you're alive back then, you know Alice. She was the face of Palmolive soap, a total movie star, and a staple on every television screen in the country. But the story goes that one day, she decided to do some shopping at Robinsons Galleria. She headed to the infamous dressing room to try a new outfit, completely unaware that she was being watched. The snake man caught a glimpse, like what he saw, and decided to kidnap her. He triggered the one-way glass mirror trapdoor, ready to drag her down into his lair. But then something bizarre happened mid-struggle. For some mysterious reason, he just let her go. Maybe he was a fan? Maybe he realized mid-kidnapping, oh wait, that's Alice Dixon, and had a sudden change of heart. Whatever the reason, she escaped the dungeon, but the story didn't end there. The rumor escalated, claiming the Gokongwei family paid her a massive fortune in hush money and shipped her off to Canada just to bury the story. Of course, both Alice and Gokongwei family have spent years calling it exactly what it is. A completely baseless urban legend fueled by the mass hysteria of the times. But even now, people still wonder, what if? This next story is the most personal one yet. It's a glimpse into my mother's own experience with the unexplained. As we established in the spirit of the glass case, my mom is no stranger to the supernatural. She's a seasoned veteran, often arming herself with prayer warfare to hold her own. But in this specific instance, she didn't have that luxury. She wasn't the target, she was merely a witness to a terrifying moment she couldn't even intervene in. Rewind to the early 90s. Robinsons Galleria was the place to be, the heartbeat of Manila's small culture. My mom was deep in the department store, minding her own business, when she overheard two young women nearby, clearly in their early 20s. They were frantic, bordering on hysteria. One gasped, "Did you see that? The wall, it just opened up." The other replied breathless, "I did. I saw it with my own eyes." They kept going, their voices trembling. "There was a girl in there. She almost got taken." "I know. Thank God she managed to get away." My mom froze. As she pieced together their frantic whispers, the blood drained from her face. She knew exactly what they were talking about. The Snakeman of Robinsons Galleria. Years later, when I was a teenager, I stumbled across a grainy low-resolution video of a mummified, half-man, half-snake creature. When my mom walked in and saw me watching it, she didn't just tell me to turn it off. She sat down and told me this story. I actually sat down with her again just to make sure I had the details right for you all, because my memory had faded over the years. Honestly, shout out to my mom for providing me with the countless supernatural encounters that serve as my bedtime stories growing up. Now I know exactly where my obsession with urban legends started and why I eventually became the internet's self-proclaimed paranormal investigator VTuber. But it wasn't just my mom. My entire family, from both sides, raised me on a diet of ghost stories and an unexplained phenomena. This is just the beginning. I have a vault of these stories and I'll be sharing them with you as the right case arises. The Snakeman of Robinsons Galleria is such a fascinating piece of modern Filipino folklore. And trust me, it wasn't just a schoolyard joke. This thing had the real teeth. It genuinely terrified people, including my own family, who point-blank refused to set foot in Robinson's Mall until the rumors finally died down. It's a bizarre, gripping tale of modern mall-going society, a story that millions of Filipinos still remembers today. So, after all that, are you brave enough to hit the restroom or dressing rooms at Robinsons Galleria? Let me know in the comments below. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Tackling this urban legend brought back so many wild memories of the mass hysteria we all lived through. It's one of those things I can look back on now and laugh at, but man, it felt real at that time. If you're craving more deep dives into Snakeman, definitely check out the links in the description. I've included my sources and some other great breakdowns if you want to fall further down this rabbit hole. If you enjoyed this mystery, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a thing. And hey, if you want to see me in action outside of the paranormal stuff, I'm also a variety streamer. You can catch my Valorant streams over at Twitch, so make sure to follow me there if you want to catch me live. For all my latest updates and random thoughts, I'm active on X. Lastly, for my fellow readers out there, I'm also a writer. I've just republished my long-running series, Silver Academy, on Wattpad. If you're into sci-fi military schools in outer space with superpowers, the link is waiting for you down below. I'm also planning to dive into some horror projects soon, so keep your eyes on my Wattpad profile if you like things a little spooky. That's all for today. This is Repolio, aka Cabbage, signing out. I'm part of the generation that grew up challenging others to high stakes blade Beyblade. Why can't a while ago I was doing fine, but why can't I read Beyblade properly? What the hell? I'm part of the generation that grew up challenging others to high stakes Beyblade matches and blowing our entire allowance on prepaid cards just to grind in Ragnarok Online at the local internet cafe. Shout out to all my 90s babies out there. My 90s babies? Wait, I'm not even old enough to have babies during that time. What the hell? I'm part of the generation that grew up. You know what? Fuck that. Let's just the first footage. Fuck that shit. If you enjoyed this mystery, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification. If you enjoyed this mystery, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification. Why can't I?